So I decided to make 2022 my low buy year. This video is a 6-month recap, how I did so far, and some surprising things I've learned along the way. Hi, my name is Rebecca, and on this channel we talk about making your finances and your life more simple. So if you want to learn about investing and managing your money, feel free to subscribe. Low buy, did I mean to say no buy? And isn't it crazy to not buy anything for a year? Well, no, I did mean low buy, which means I'm not cutting out on everything. I'm just cutting down on certain categories. I believe anyone can profit from a low buy, no buy period. Why? It can help you stop overspending. It can help you reach a specific savings goal that you have in mind. It will make you question your automated consumeristic habits, and it will teach you to value the things you already have. And lastly, it will make more clear to you what wants and needs are. Okay, let me explain a little bit of why I'm doing a low buy year. Well, for the past several years, I was still working as a flight attendant and I got to fly to all these cool places that I've never been to before. So obviously I wanted to buy something to remember it, or maybe also they sold something that I can't get in my home country, Germany, and I just ended up buying a lot of stuff. And I can actually kind of justify these expenses, but now I'm not a flight attendant anymore. And then also with the pandemic, online shopping was a thing, obviously, and became more and more normal. So I was just buying a lot of things. One category I spend a lot on is my wardrobe, but I can't really think of anything right now that I would actually truly need. So I question myself, why do I keep buying so many clothes? Is it really necessary to buy something just because I think it looks good? And another category I can always find cute things to buy is home decor. But I live in a shared apartment right now and it's fully furnished and fully decorated, so I don't really need anything. And even though I want my own place in the future, buying things for a future situation isn't really smart because, first of all, I would need to move a lot more things from here to the next place. And second of all, taste changes over time. I have no idea how my place is going to look like in the future, and then maybe I want to go with a different vibe. So while my overspending for non-necessary items were clearly a factor for making this low buy year, the biggest reason for this decision was that I had some new savings goals for 2022 and 2023. And that was just a means for me to actually reach those savings goals. So what were my specific rules for the low buy year? Well, I had two categories that I could not spend anything on, which were clothes, including accessories and shoes, and home decor. Then I also decided to cut back on products, buying things for skincare, makeup, hair. I decided I would only buy something if I ran out. I was aware that a year is a very long period of time, so I decided I would have some exceptions. I decided 10 was the number that I was going to give myself for the two categories that I didn't want to spend anything unnecessary on. So why 10 exceptions? Well, there are some things in the back of my mind, like I have been trying to find a maxi skirt that I like for the past years, and I have never found any. I have yet to find the perfect mom jeans for me, and even though I have jeans I can obviously wear, that will be something that will complete my wardrobe. So I do have some of these items in the back of my head, and just in case I find this perfect item this year, I do want to buy it. Even though there is the exception, I'm trying to keep that number as low as possible, and it still makes me very aware of my purchases in those two categories that I tend to overspend. And lastly, for the rules, what was very important for me is that I do not limit myself for things like food, experiences, going out with friends, and my hobbies. So these are categories that I don't tend to regret anything that I buy or spend on that category. I want to actually increase the time and maybe also money spent on things that give me those experiences and memories, and I don't usually pay too much in these categories anyways. Okay, so now for the update part. How did it go? Well, I'm very proud that the first few weeks and months went very well. Part of the reason for that is that I had just started a new job in January and I was very busy and I did not have a lot of time to think about things I want to buy. So that helped. I was very aware of the fact that I have enough in the categories of clothes and home decor. I wasn't going on any of these online shopping websites. I didn't go to any stores that sold clothes, and it was the new normal for me. I was just not buying anything in these categories. That was not a thing. I somehow thought that the longer this challenge was going, the more difficult it would get, because I thought if it's just a couple of weeks or a month, you can always postpone what you want to buy and then just do it like after. But if it's a whole year, it's not a simple postponing, it's a not buying it. So in the beginning, I thought that I was just busy with work and that's why it was going well. But then by March, April, I noticed the no buy in clothes and home decor category had just really settled in. My savings goal was very predominant in my head, and it was not that I couldn't buy anything anymore. Okay, my battery just died. So it's not like I didn't buy anything, because I was still getting all my groceries, I was still eating out with friends every now and then, I was getting some things from exempt categories. But then in June something changed. I realized there was one thing missing in my closet I didn't think of before, which was a thin summer jacket to throw over when it's chillier outside. I wanted it to also look cute, so I could wear it over a dress or for work. Well, I do have a denim jacket and then also like this thin coat slash jacket, but this one was coming apart because it had fake leather on it and it was not looking good anymore. So I decided to take a look at all these online stores that I have been avoiding. And this might have been a mistake, because long story short, I did not get a thin summer jacket. I ended up getting a thicker raincoat, which is definitely not for summer. But I fell in love with it so much that I decided to get it. And I decided it was going to be one of my 10 items for this year. It didn't solve the issue that I had, but then I decided to just make do with the denim jacket that I have. And by the way, with this summer jacket, I actually took the time one day when I was watching YouTube videos to pick off the fake leather, and it worked very well. I'm surprised it only took like half an hour, 1 hour. It's all off. It looks like there has never been faux leather on there, so I'm very excited about that. I'm also a little bit embarrassed that I actually considered throwing away this perfectly fine jacket just because the fake leather was coming off. What can we learn from this? Never buy anything with fake leather. The lifespan of this item will be very short. Okay, so back to my experience. Well, I have done a no buy month before, I think even twice. And let me tell you, it felt so much harder than these 6 months of low buy, because it felt like I was just punishing myself and I was not allowed to buy anything non-essential. I wasn't only struggling in this no buy month, but I also felt it didn't really serve its purpose, because right before the month would start or after it ended, I would buy the things that I didn't buy in the month. It didn't really change anything about my behavior when it comes to buying things. Well, this time I focused on only 2 categories, and even though I consider them to be my biggest challenges, I do find it so much easier this time around. And that is due to the fact that I am still allowed to spend money. I can still enjoy experiences with friends. I don't have to cut back on eating out, and I can just focus on these 2 categories. That also gave me the freedom and the headspace to actually question my consumeristic behavior and my spending habits. So overall, I do have the feeling that this experience is going to have some long-term effect on me, and I'm actually moving towards a more intentional approach on how I spend my money and what I spend it on. Okay, that's enough input from my side. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know in the comments down below if you've ever done a low buy or a no buy in the past. How did it go for you? What are your tips on how to go through with it, or for anyone who wants to try it? And if you're considering doing a low buy, you can absolutely do it. I believe in you, and your savings account will thank you later.